Today we will be doing the Battle of at Barious, or the Duel in the Desert, depending on what you want to call it. This is where we get introduced to the Batt tank, and is one of the special missions. Special because it's a tasked mission.
I don't know what I expected, but it really wasn't this.
Amazing, isn't it? I was surprised when I first came here, too.
I'm surprised they added the echo. They didn't have to. They could have just had them speaking normally, but they decided to add in the echo effect.
There aren't any windows or skylights in here, but it's still so light.
The ruins are made of stone with a high ragnite concentration. It lights itself.
Ragnite is such a weird material. I mean, it can be used as fuel, to make weapons, to make healing agents, as a light source. I mean, in all reality, Ragnite just does everything that no other material could possibly compete with it. They wouldn't need fuel like oil or... Well, they might need oil to oil gears and things, but it would not be as common or as necessary as it is in our society, because they could also use things like whale oil or even pig oil to replace oil mined from the ground. So Ragnite mining would this explains why Ragnite mining is so important, because it's quite literally a one-stop solution to every problem in society.
It's uncanny.
Look at this! Something's written on the wall here. It's in Old Northern script.
Basically, it's Nordic.
Old Northern?
Yeah, basically, let's face it, the Valkyria are supposed to represent the Norse people. Again, very heavily implying this game's leaning towards the, I guess you'd call it Nazi Party mentality of, oh, the great people descended and conquered everything kind of mentality. And we are their descendants, therefore we deserve power.
It was the dominant writing system in Europa. You still see it on a lot of old monuments.
Yeah, dominant because the Valkyria came in and conquered everyone.
Do you know how to read it, Faldio?
Of course, he's an archaeology student, so of course he'd know how to read it.
Yeah, we just covered it this last year.
Of course you did, because it's literally written on everything. Considering this is like 90% of what their archaeology would be. Let's prove how great the Valkyria were.
Let's take a look.
And honestly, this place would have shown up in dozens of research documents, because it's a big blue building out in the middle of the desert. There's absolutely no one who couldn't have known about this if they studied archaeology.
It's more or less a recounting of the Darkson calamity as the history books tell it.
Of course it is.
The Darksons unlocked some secret property of Ragnite and tried to conquer the continent.
Now, the interesting thing here is, one could say that it's both true and false, because they could have discovered the secret of the Valkyria's use of Ragnite and tried to use it for themselves, which would have angered the Valkyria and forced the war to start, because they probably didn't want to share that ability. Also, Valkyria half-breeds would have been a thing.
100 cities raised its fell light, 100,000 men and beast therewith.
Yeah, basically we're talking ancient nukes.
It says this area used to be one of the cities lost in that purge as well.
Yep.
So they did use Ragnite.
Yeah, but that's an established fact. Of course they used Ragnite. Everyone uses Ragnite. This temple was built using Ragnite.
It was in the middle of that destruction that the Valkyrie suddenly came into the picture.
You know, ironically, what is probably never mentioned in any of the games may be the possibility that the Valkyrie were Darskins. It's never mentioned or even suggested, but considering that both groups commonly used Ragnite, and in at least one of the other games, it's mentioned that Valkyria and uh, Darskins lived together at some point, possibly traded with one another. There is a very real possibility that the Valkyria were the Darskins who used the secrets of Ragnite to create the Darskin Calamity. So they basically are using their own twisted version of history to explain their own rise to power by claiming that they were stopping the rest of the Darskins from doing the exact thing that they were doing. Kind of twisted.
Supposedly they rose to face the Darksons, armed with sacred lances, blue with flame.
Powered entirely by Ragnite.
That became the War of the Valkyrie.
Where one group of Darskins basically said, we don't want to be part of your group anymore, and started killing all the other Darskins. Yay, genocide.
I had a picture book about that as a girl. But it's fiction, right? Like a fairy tale.
The leader of your country is supposed to be a direct descendant of the Valkyria. I don't understand how this game tries to represent things. That's like saying, oh, King Henry wasn't a real person. There's no way he could have been a real person. It's all just a fairy tale. Yes, there are fairy tales about what maybe King Henry did, but King Henry himself was a real person. There's a lot of give and take here.
Ruins like these dot the European map, traces of the culture that once ruled the continent.
Yes, the Valkyria came and conquered everyone. They were not nice people.
The majority of the anthropological community now agrees that the Valkyrie did exist.
Again, these ruins are real. The Archaeological Society can agree they're real, even if the ideology that the Valkyrie used sacred weapons of blue that fired blue flames or beams of death, there would be some who doubt that such a thing would be real and would call it fairy tales. I mean, honestly, they would probably view the Valkyrie as maybe some great tribe that rose up to throw off Darskin oppression. So, and they used perhaps some form of Ragnite weapon. But overall, the reality would be that most people would agree that the Valkyrie were real, but perhaps not sacred magical warriors. Also, it seems like all Valkyrie are female. That is never officially mentioned, but it's nonetheless true. There has never been a record of a male Valkyrie.
Wow, this is so educational.
Strange but true facts.
The Valkyrie won and rose to power, while the Darksons were scattered across Europa.
Proof that, honestly, the Valkyrie really didn't have any reason to stop the Darskins, because, I mean, why would they let them live then? I mean, they won the war, obviously, so it's obvious they really didn't care about whether the Darskins lived or died, just as long as they stayed away from Ragnite.
There are some who worship the Valkyrie as the saviors of Europa even today.
Yes, like the Imperial family, who worship the Valkyria, or Valkyrie, whatever you want to call them.
Meanwhile, the Darksons got branded with the stigma of their past and were persecuted.
Yeah. The same way we tend to look at Nazis.
With no land of their own, they had to work as itinerant laborers and Ragnite miners.
However, the Darskins are actually closer related to the Jews, falsely blamed for things they didn't do, and punished for things they had no control over. And Now they have Iran and can show that they're probably at least somewhat worthy of the hatred because they're not nice people either. Not all Jews are nice people. Sure, there are nice Jews. I mean, Jon Stewart from The Daily Show. He was supposed to be Jewish. Love that guy. But let's face it, there's no such thing as a purely good or purely evil group. That's just not a thing. There are good and evil people in every organization and group, and when bad people become strong leaders, bad things happen. Good people can do terrible things.
Which is why there are so many Darksons still working in the industrial sector today.
No, Welkin, that has nothing to do. You're just making things up, Welkin. Why would them being scattered across all of Europa mean that they would be working in the industrial sector today? Those two things have nothing to do with each other. Unless you're saying that Darskins, who are really good at using Ragnite, are only good in the industrial sector and therefore had no jobs anywhere else.
I never knew that. Come to think of it, Isara's dad was an engineer, wasn't he?
Wow. Casual racism at its finest. Basically reducing an entire people to they're good at one thing and only one thing. So the entire race is identified as that one thing and only that one thing. Isara could have been a great musician. There could be dozens of great Darskin musicians, but does anyone care? No, because Darskins are good at using Ragnite. Therefore, all they should ever be allowed to do is use Ragnite.
Anyway, that's enough history for today. Let's keep checking for Imperial tracks.
You know, here's the thing. How did nobody see the Batimus parked anywhere near this place? I mean, it's absolutely enormous. And you cannot tell me they properly camouflaged that thing to where no one could see it. There are 2 squads of Gallian forces here. Probably more of the militia. And they could not find a 3-story tall tank in the desert.
I've been looking, but I still ain't seen nothing but sand.
Yes, you missed the 3-story tall tank.
Those imps got some strange tastes if they're sunning themselves out here.
Yes, Rosie's just going to stare off into the distance.
What's got you, Rosie? Ain't like you to be so quiet. You got the runs or something?
You're foul, Largo. And I'm just annoyed. Takes some kind of brass to blow up a chunk of turf this big, don't you think?
And that was probably the Valkyria. They probably did it.
Looks like the dark hairs have been bad news for the rest of us folks since day one.
You do realize that you are currently in a war with a nation that is slaughtering people wholesale and shooting civilians. And starving large groups of people. And also committing various other atrocities. Repeat statement. There are no purely good or purely bad people. But when a bad leader takes over any group, they do terrible, terrible things. Even good people do terrible things because they're working for a very, very bad person.
What do you mean by that?
What do you think I mean?
No archaeological proof exists to support the theory that Darksons destroyed Barious.
Yeah, in fact, this was probably a Darskin city that got destroyed by the Valkyria during the war, possibly with the Valkov, which is why the temple was built there.
Look around! How much more proof do you need?
Probably a whole lot, since at the moment no one knows what the Valkyrie were capable of or the Darskins. So that's like saying that rock has a burn on it. That proves that, I don't know, the Klingons were real and that they came to Earth and fired a disruptor at it. Makes no sense.
And it's an unfair generalization to assume that all Darksons cause trouble for others.
Yeah, honestly, Isara hasn't caused any trouble for anyone. She's been living quite happily with her family. The only people who cause trouble are the ones who target her simply because of who she is.
You saying you don't? Look, it's 'cause of you people that my whole...
Yeah, there's some history there. She does have a valid reason to hate them, but at the same time, that valid reason is also a direct result of someone else doing something terrible to Darskins. So it's not actually the Darskins' fault simply by existing. It's the bad people doing bad things to Darskins that cause the problem.
All right, time out, you two.
You stay out of this, Largo!
No, technically he outranks you, Rosie.
We're on patrol here. You keep squawking, and we're likely to get sniped.
On patrol. You're out in the open, in a desert, wearing blue. Every last one of you sticks out like a sore thumb. The Empire is better camouflaged than you people. At least their outfits are drab colors. You guys stick out like a sore thumb.
You too, kid. You know Rosie's got a temper on her. She wouldn't go off if you didn't talk back.
Yes, encourage her not to talk back. That's insulting. It's basically saying, sit down and shut up and just accept it.
I don't believe anything I've said is untrue.
Which she has an absolute right to say, because there is no evidence to support any of the claims anyone has made. It's all propaganda and rhetoric.
Stubborn as mules, both of you.
Faldio, what is that?
It's a big glowy eye thing.
It's called the Valkyrian Spiral.
It's called the It Looks Ridiculous is what it's called.
Okay, so what is it?
The All-Seeing Eye. It's the All-Seeing Eye. Eye of Odin, whatever you want to call it.
I was talking about their power before, remember? The sacred blue flame? The spiral motif on their relief carvings are said to represent inexhaustible power.
So basically, this is the world that eventually created the gunmen. They're an anime where basically people use giant robots that all look like giant heads. And the whole theme of that is people with spiral DNA will doom the world because spiral bad.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Of course not. You study botany. Spirals mean nothing to you, except for the fact that they look like something an animal would have, like a unicorn. And really, that's the main theme. The Valkyrian really loved the mythological unicorn concept. I mean, just absolutely adored it. It was on everything they did.
Still, we haven't seen any Imperials here. Not even any signs of entry.
Yeah, not even any dust on the floor, which would have footprints. In a building. In the desert. There's no footprints. There's no dust in here. This building is completely sealed. The air in here must have been stagnant as all get out.
I guess it's possible that this wasn't what brought the Empire out here.
No, it was. They're here. I mean, it's kind of obvious at this point, but they're here. You just can't find them because you can't open the door.
Well, the others are waiting. Let's go back.
Time for magic opening the door field.
Sure, let's go.
Huh?
That is a terrible looking door, by the way.
What in the...
And also the first hint of the special powers. Magical girl abilities.
Alicia, what just happened?
I don't know. I barely even touched it and this door just opened.
Yep, because they wouldn't build a building this big and not hide a secret in it. Yep, no one before her has been able to open that door because Valkyria.
It looks like it keeps going.
Yep, sure does.
An underground chamber in the Barious ruins. This is a huge discovery.
You will never get the chance to actually mention anything about this. I'm sorry, Faldio. You have failed. You discovered one of the most important secrets in the history of Gallia, and you never get the chance to reveal it to anyone.
Should we go in?
Neither does Welkin and Alicia in all reality. They both keep all of this secret, when in reality they could have at least revealed the secrets they find within, which changes the absolute history of everything they've ever known.
Do you have to ask?
Yep, you have to ask.
All right, let's take a look.
They should have brought someone in to take pictures. They have a reporter. I mean, honestly, this would be the perfect time. Call in the reporter and say, hey, look, this is inside the Barious ruins. There's a secret door here. Maybe, if people knew about this, they could look inside the other ruins and find maybe these secret doors. First contact. Good guy, meet bad guy.
Whoa. What is this place?
No railings.
It seems like it goes on forever.
Wow, look at this wall. Amazing. There are engravings everywhere. What do they say, Faldio? I'm not sure. I wish I could tell you. They're too ancient for me to decipher.
No guardrails at all.
Welkin! We're not alone.
Who's there?
Well, how surprising to find you here. We don't get many visitors. I won't ask how you were able to break in. It's not really important. But you defile this sanctum with your presence.
Guys, that's Maximilian.
Maximilian? Wait, but he's the enemy commander. Hold it right there! You take one more step and I'll shoot you down, I swear I will! What?
Lower your weapon. Your lives are worthless to me, but I do not wish to stain this sacred place with blood. If you are determined to have this confrontation, why don't we settle it outside?
Welkin.
Welkin? So, you're the brat who's responsible. My compliments for the Vassal Bridge and the base in Cloden. You quite impressed Jaeger, who was singing your praises, boy. Silvarian, come.
Sir.
Now's our chance to take out their commander.
She's right, Faldio. Let's go! Right.
We will never see that pistol again. In fact, it's a surprise that she actually was carrying one, since we never see that pistol. Ever. for the entire rest of the game. We will never see that pistol again. It does not show up. So that was a one-time deal. Apparently they only carry pistols for cutscenes. And now we have the Desert Duel with Maximilian, one of the hardest and easiest fights in the game, depending on your preparation level. I am wholly unprepared for this.
Let me catch you up on the current situation.
You are nowhere near here. Yep. Okay, now here's the interesting thing to bring up. The wide semicircle in the back is a small turreted gun. The small circle in the front is the two large cannons that are on the front of the vehicle. So what you're looking at is basically the front and the back of the thing. The half circle covers the back of it. The other circle covers the front. So you only have the sides to hide. Anything inside that half circle is going to get shot by that back cannon. Alright. We want Largo, Jan, and Rosie. Frisia there. Alicia there. That's it. That's all I want.
You'll commence combat now. Stay sharp out there.
That tank is our target. We have to stop it. Squad 7, move out!
Now, dear galleons, flee or be crushed underfoot of the Batimus.
Your Grace, I will eliminate the forces east of the temple, then return to provide support.
Very well, though I doubt I shall require your assistance. The Batimus shall rest atop their riven camp before long.
Welkin, take a look at that tank.
Yes, that you somehow couldn't find, despite the fact that it was probably parked really close, because he had to walk to it in order to get on board.
Holy... With armor like that, I don't figure my anti-tank lance will do much good.
Yeah, also this is one of the few tanks we can't destroy the tracks on.
And I don't like the look of that cannon. Standing in front of that thing's a bad idea.
Let's watch and wait for now. It has to have some kind of weak point.
Of course it does. Because anime. Alright, first
Let's do this thing.
We want to get...
Keep your eyes peeled out there.
Watch me dance.
Alright, we do not want you standing anywhere near there.
Please, clear a path.
turn, okay? Come on, pull it together.
We've got much mass. Where's the exhaust? Don't give them an opportunity to attack.
Now on, Alicia, this is your home. Alright,
Entering combat!
time to start work. Alright. Gotta take those out. The problem is, we have 0 accuracy.
Fire!
Let's do this thing. Ugh, this place is a dust trap.
Alright.
Go
Kill that guy.
Mwah.
He needs to die.
I'm on it. Go down!
Target silenced. Head for the next one.
Now the good news is the Baptimus really can't shoot up here, so we're actually in a pretty good condition or position.
Here we go!
Alright, time for one last shot. Let's see if I can take out at least one of these turrets before the start of the next turn.
Fire!
Answer is no.
Been waiting here. Boom!
Watch out for their return fire.
Let's just hide you in there for now.
Heed my words and no victory. Loose your fire, men! Annihilate our enemies!
Yeah, like I said, 3-story tall tank. Nobody noticed this thing. And that's why Rosie's up there. Alright.
Here we go!
Let's see if I can take this out. One down.
Just watch this.
Oh, I hate these things.
You're done!
Now, we've got to hope that Largo can hit all
Been
3
waiting here.
shots, which, as you may have noticed, is nearly impossible. And that's a miss. Normally I'd have an engineer hit
Been
down
waiting
here. And Largo has managed to successfully miss
Doesn't it have any weak spots?
all of his important shots.
Keep your heads down.
you, sure.
Alright, Jan.
Come out and fight like a man, honey!
Now it's your time.
Die for me, sweetie!
Now, the reason we want to take out the machine guns is, especially these ones on the back, is there's 3 weak spots, one on the back and one on either side. We want to destroy the 2 on these side of the tank.
For you, sure.
Alright. Come on, Jan, do it. Do it, Jan.
Yeah!
Thank you, Jan.
Sorry, honey.
That is a blessing, because now we are down to only 1, 2, 3, 4 turns to take
For
out.
you, sure. Yeah!
Alright. The Batimus is going to move forward, run over this base. These 2 are basically useless right now. So I'm going to save that last CP.
Capturing a camp is for the feeble.
Yeah, you don't need to capture it when you are the camp.
A needless bother when it can be crushed outright. He's just gonna mow our camps down.
Keep your head, Lieutenant. That desert is covered by parts of standing ruins. If you shell unstable walls, fragments may fall and block the enemy's tank progress.
Roger that. I'll give it a try.
The team east of the temple is in bad shape. Some woman is sending up some major fireworks.
When you see the force she's leading, I don't think she needed to send up fireworks.
At this rate, they'll be forced to withdraw.
Yeah, they will.
I understand. We'll try to hold our ground here. All right. Let's slow that behemoth down with as much rubble as we can throw in front of it.
Listen closely. This information could save your life.
Oh, this is going to be frustrating. Luckily, they only took 2 shots. Alright, now I kind of want to blow up that turret.
Entering combat!
Let's see if I can make this hit.
Fire!
From quite literal point-blank range.
Entering combat!
Just keep up this.
For you, sure.
We don't know what that is.
Hit, please! Just watch this. No!
Ow.
Not yet.
Frustration Nation.
Watch me dance.
We're headed that way. Please
Oh,
follow.
dang it.
Scorching sands? Bring it on!
You can't let the...
Here we go! Fire!
I'm going to waste the rest of this turn just blowing up another
Here we
turret.
go! Heed my words and no victory. Loose your fire, men! Annihilate our enemies!
That's what we need to blow up.
There must be a...
Whelks, look at that!
What are those?
They're They must be using them to cool the cannon after firing it. Whelks, if we destroy them, it could greatly upset the tank's function and stability.
Alright, let's try it. We just need to get to those radiators after the cannon fired.
They're positioned atop the tank, so...
Okay, we've got to take out the guns and get troops onto that tank.
Okay, poor Jan. This is... Jan's about to die.
I'm just... resting.
Well, this has been a disaster.
Entering combat!
That tank is coming this way.
Now!
Pardon, guy.
No matter the cost. Medic!
It's gonna be all right! Leave it to me!
And
Over
this is
here,
our
ma'am.
medic.
Please, hurry!
She is very important for doing
Medic!
these things.
Fight this thing! I'm almost there!
Over here, ma'am. Please, hurry!
Now this is the fastest way of destroying these.
That leaves 2 radiators. Keep it up, Sevens!
Lieutenant, Squads 1 and 3 have suffered heavy losses out east. I'm pulling them out.
That's Faldio's squad.
Welkin, it's me, Faldio. I'm sorry, but we couldn't do a thing against her. She had a spiral lance and shield. They were the arms of a Valkyria, Welkin.
Yep.
It's likely her unit will be arriving there soon, as backup.
Yep.
Do not, I repeat, do not engage her. Now hurry up and stop that tank.
Understood. We need those radiators out now, Sevens!
What is that jump?
Alright. Now, one of the things I'm going to do that is very important is order Elise there and Marina there.
Let's do this thing.
And
Try to keep your heads down.
What is that giant?
That should be good. Salvaria's gonna spawn right in this area, probably behind this stuff. Alright. I'm gonna have to keep the rest of my CP.
Under extensive fire!
And that was the rear turret that I was talking about. Alright.
Roger!
Now, despite everything, we want them all here.
Please neutralize that oversized tank.
Alright. Stupid shot. No luck in hitting. And it's a miracle. It hit. Now, we resurrect Largo. And Jam.
On my way.
And do our best to get Nadine away from the front of that tank.
Continue firing.
Because we need her also over here to resupply our
I want all of you returning alive.
rocket team.
Entering combat! Gotta love nature.
We don't know what that thing...
Will you hit Wilkin? Probably not. Am I gonna try? Yes.
Now! Here we go!
Taking this out is moderately important.
Fire!
Alright.
Man down. Everybody be careful.
Keep your heads down.
Too far, Welkin. The reason I want that pointed at that is so that it can't be shot in the back.
Let's do this thing.
Alright, I'm going to reposition her just a little bit further back. Just to cover the option in case it turns out I'm wrong as to where they spawn. This should be the second shot of the Batimus.
Under extensive fire!
Oh, crap. I made a mistake. I have made a mistake. Mistakes have been made. Mistakes have been made.
Baby, don't fail me now.
Don't let that tank through. So that's their commander.
Gotta love nature.
You got it, hon.
Oh, I do hate making mistakes. This is actually going to cost us the A rank right here.
We don't know what that thing...
Definitely going to cost us the A rank. Because we need to destroy it in a certain number of turns, and the problem is...
Been waiting here.
Because of what I just did, getting the Edelweiss trapped there like that, it It essentially means it will take an entire extra turn.
On my way.
Thank you.
Effectively meaning that the Edelweiss can now no longer, or more precisely, essentially meaning that I can no longer
Entering
A-rank
combat.
this mission. There's just no way to do it.
Gotta love nature.
Destroy that oversized tank!
Alright. Mission failed successfully. I have made a mistake.
Heed my words and no victory. Loose your fire, men! Annihilate our enemies!
There is nobody but the Batt. Alrighty. And now here's where Alicia does her thing.
Moving out!
This is the main reason why I hit Alicia over here. And why it was so
We aren't
important
sure of its capabilities. Please be careful.
that
Please hit!
she remained hidden there.
Lord Maximilian. Cobalt flames of the Valkyria. Smite our foes! All forces, there stands Gallia! Claim her!
Backup troops have arrived. If the reports are true, we can't beat it. Everyone, focus on that last radiator!
This is why I had to destroy the radiators in this specific order, because if I had done it the other way, it would have been an absolute disaster. And as of now, Alicia lives in these ruins. She will never move from them. I was wrong. Okay.
Understood.
Definitely picked the wrong spot here. Can I hit anyone? Anyone at all? Can I hit you?
Nothing personal.
Answer is, well, yes, but no.
The hunt begins.
Okay. Now, the person I want to hit is Khazar the Lion here, but there's a good chance he's gonna dodge.
Nothing personal. Sweet dreams.
Man.
The hunt begins.
I also want to kill this Lancer here, because he's a real threat to my tank.
Good night. Sweet dreams.
Who are these guys?
Marina is effectively no longer useful. I mean, honestly, I can just leave Rosie here and she'll shoot these people as they charge forward. So I'm just going to end my phase here. There's no reason for me to do anything else. That is a 340mm main cannon. she's going to join up with the Batimus. And as her Gatling beam lands, which is death incarnate to any infantry who gets caught close to it. And that's why she's there. And why Room is the best shock trooper weapon in the game. I mean, the best, default. There is no other gun in the shock trooper arsenal that compares to it. It's the best gun. By the way, she can shoot all the way across the map. So I do not want Maria anywhere near her. At all. Okay. This is it. This is the setup. I cannot do anything else until the Batimus fires its gun again.
Heed my words and no victory. Loose your fire, men! Annihilate our enemies!
Now, Salvari is going to stay on that side of the tank, which is a good thing. Because as long as she's on that side, she can't shoot anybody on the other side.
No matter the cost.
Do all you can to minimize casualties.
I'm just going to fix up the Edelweiss real quick.
Thank you.
Because if the situation calls for it, I may have to finish it off with the Edelweiss, because I'm not going to be able to deal enough damage with the rocket troops under most normal circumstances.
Heed my words and no victory. Loose your fire, men! Annihilate our enemies!
And there it is. Now here is where things get complicated.
No matter the cost.
All right! That's the last of the radiators!
And you are so lucky it actually did something.
Ah! Presumptuous little vermin.
Your Grace! Are you alright?
Fine. The tank itself is perfectly intact, though not for long at this rate.
Understood. I'll be there momentarily, sir.
You're already right next to it.
The enemy tank has been damaged. That should also impair its defenses, Sevens. Everybody, concentrate fire on that tank! Take it down!
Yep.
Advance cautiously.
That's a different sound. I have never heard that sound. I've never heard the Batimus make that sound before.
Been waiting here.
Alright, now we just fire everything.
Just watch this.
This is why I had 3 of them.
Been waiting here.
So I can literally just...
I'm ready too.
start shooting. Now, if you're using fully upgraded troops on this mission, they can take down the Batt in seconds.
Hit, please!
There's really not a good spot to just shoot it.
For you, sure.
That does any more damage, because...
Die for me, sweetie!
I'm using the level 1 lances. I'm just using the most terrible weapon in the game to try and...
For you, sure.
It's absolutely terrible.
Hit, please!
I mean, I've already gone through 2 Lancers, that's 6 turns, and I've only brought it down a third of it.
Roger!
These Lances are the absolute worst.
Roger!
Three Lancers,
Roger!
9 turns, and I've only brought it just a little bit under half.
On my way.
Fully reload.
Galleons at 3 o'clock. Distance.
Been waiting here.
Start over with Largo. Now, if I'm lucky, I'll be able to take it out this turn.
Just watch this.
The A rank is, I believe, 9 turns. It is possible to beat it much faster, but...
Just watch this.
A lot of times that requires better gear than what I've got.
You got it, hon! Hit, please!
Oh, looks like I might be able to finish it off this turn. Maybe, if I'm lucky.
You got it, hon! Die for me, sweetie!
So let's see, that's 12.
For you, sure.
13, 14. That's 15 missiles.
Die for me, sweetie!
It's a miss.
I have fired 15 missiles on it.
Roger!
I'm now about to fire 16. 16 level 1 lance shots to kill.
The Batimus. Lost to this rabble.
Your Grace, are you injured?
And they just let him leave. I mean, he's trapped inside the tank. They have him surrounded, but there's a Valkyria there, so they can't really do anything. All he's got to do is just walk out near her, and essentially anyone who gets near him is just straight up dead.
Silvaria, plans for the Marmota must be adjusted to account for these failures.
Yeah, they were probably figuring on using the same Ragnite cooling system on the Marmota, but due to the fact that this basically led to the destruction of the Batimus, they're probably planning to change that.
In due time, Grace. You're in danger here. My men will see you to safety.
Yes! We managed to beat that thing back!
Nice work out there, Lieutenant. I've sent the rest of the Eastern team to join you there.
Welks, the enemy forces have begun to retreat.
Of course, because they gotta escort the prince out.
Then it's our turn to advance! Don't let Maximilian get away!
Still got the Valkyria to deal with, and she wiped out 2 squads. Finally, a better gun for, Alicia.
see that? She deflected a tank shell.
Such power.
I see Gallia's peasant army has the will to win. All units, retreat! Protect His Grace at all costs!
After watching that, she literally could have soloed the entire Gallian force. The whole Gallian military by herself. She could have soloed them. And won. She retreated because she needed to protect Maximilian. And didn't want Gallian artillery fire from taking him out. That's it. She could have wiped out the entire Gallian military by herself in that one battle.
We drove the Empire back, but not without sustaining heavy casualties ourselves.
We never thought the commander of the entire Imperial force would be there.
And only bringing probably about 300 soldiers with him.
Not just the commander. Maximilian had that woman with him.
By the way, the Empire is actually highly against female soldiers, so Valkyria's presence actually is an extreme shock for a lot of people, because the Empire does not actually regularly recruit women. It's very difficult to get into the Imperial military as a woman, because they're a knightly and nobility-based society.
What was she? I can't believe she's human.
Well, she is. I mean, I can't believe that you can take a tank round to the face and get back up with just a little bit of blue glowy stuff in ya.
In her hands borne cobalt lance and shield, therewith to strike down all man's arrows.
What?
One account of the Valkyria describes them in those terms.
You can't mean that she...
Yes, the Empire has literally deployed a Valkyrie. Essentially, supposedly it's supposed to represent their divine right to win.
But they existed thousands of years ago. If they'd survived, we'd know.
No, you wouldn't, because up until something happens, they're completely normal people.
I'm not saying I'd buy all the legends either. I realize that it sounds a little crazy.
Or it could just, be some kind of new Imperial super weapon or super soldier program. Who knows?
But what we saw out there could only have been the Valkyria of legend.
I know.
Chapter 8. The Woodland Snare.
Now this is another one where basically I'm going to have two battles in the same chapter. However, now I can finally go back to headquarters. Because we've beaten the Barious Desert. So before we start the Woodland Snare, it's time to actually use the stuff we get. Starting with giving Alicia a better gun. Let's see if anybody I really wants come in.
Hello, Welkin. Here to fine-tune your squad. Oh, and there have been...
Hermes... No... Hana... Oh, Hanas! Okay, I gotta remove somebody. Vice... Who do I want to get rid of? I need 80. I want Vice. I need you for a reason. I need another sniper. Let's get rid of Cherry.
Like, finally. I so need a break. I was totally dying, so yeah, bye!
I hate you. Alright. So, let's bring in Hanas.
Haynes Salinger, reporting for duty, sir.
He's good. Wendy's also good. Shoot. They don't have any of the other snipers.
Come back anytime you need to change your lineup, Lieutenant.
Let's see if he's got any new orders for us.
Hello again, son. I'm sorry. I hope...
Nope. That means I can use all of the, Ooh, let's see if there's anything new in Castlefront Street.
Hey! Oh, and how about the new... I could...
Alright, Imperial Shadow hits Barious. But... Okay, that's all the shenanigans.
Da-da-da-da! I've got new material!
Alright, Largo's Passion. This is important.
Thanks a million.
Because this is one of those that actually has a mission.
Come back and see the writing on the wall again soon.
It also unlocks one of Largo's special abilities.
Welcome.
Alright. Nope, no new grenade upgrades. Nope, uniform upgrades 3.
All set for you, bro.
That means we are less likely to die.
Here you go, bro.
See if there's any new Edelweiss upgrades I can actually do. Okay, yep, extra hit points.
Whew, it's done.
And extra armor.
Whew, it's... Come back.
And that's all I can do. Now I need to train.
Whoa! Train!
Alright, one level for you. One level for you. One level for you. One level for you.
Fight the bullet! No pain, no gain! Good work, man! Looks like that's it. Looks like that's okay.
Alright, since most of the work was done by Lancers, that means I've got to level them up again.
I got...
Put another point to them.
You're better!
Since they did get the most experience.
Good work!
Mission.
Hi! Okay!
Alright, that's good. That's very good. Okay, I got enough to get them up to level 8.
Hi! Good work! Okay! Come back anytime!
I just don't like listening to that guy. Since he repeats the same thing over and over and over and over again.